There's been a huge shakeup brewing around Jonathan Kuminga and Steve Kerr, and it's finally coming to the surface in a way no one saw coming. Steve Kerr recently gave a candid, no-holds-barred interview that's shaking up everything we thought we knew about the relationship between the Warriors coach and one of their brightest young talents. Kerr's comments were blunt and hard to ignore. He doesn't see Kuminga as a player he can rely on for heavy minutes if the goal is to win games right now. That's basically a public declaration that Kuminga isn't the kind of player who fits into the winning formula Kerr is trying to build, and the implications are huge. For a player like Kuminga, who is only 22 and packed with potential, hearing that kind of assessment from your head coach is a huge blow. Kerr's criticism digs deeper than just minutes and lineups. He pointed out that Kuminga is a ball-dominant player. In fact, his usage rate is among the highest in the NBA this season. That stat alone tells a story. A player with such a high usage rate is someone who takes a lot of shots, makes a lot of decisions on the floor, and generally controls possessions more than most. That becomes a real issue when you factor in that Kuminga is sharing the floor with players like Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler, who also demand the ball and command the offense. Kerr is making it clear that he sees Kuminga's style as clashing with the established stars, making it tough to find a way to blend all those pieces together effectively. But the critique doesn't stop at style or fit. Kerr also touched on Kuminga's impact on winning, or lack thereof, which has been a recurring theme with Warriors fans and insiders for some time now. Even though Kuminga led the team in scoring during that playoff series against Minnesota, with Curry sidelined, his plus-minus numbers were alarmingly negative. Kerr highlighted a minus 15.8 rating in that series and an overall minus 49 in plus-minus. Those numbers suggest that while Kuminga might be scoring points, the team isn't winning when he's on the floor. That kind of stat is hard to ignore, especially in a franchise that's laser-focused on success and championships. Amid all the talk about Kuminga's role and performance, Kerr also addressed his own future with the team. Despite the swirling rumors and the constant chatter about his tenure, Kerr confirmed that he has no plans to leave anytime soon. His contract runs through next season, and he made it clear he's comfortable staying as long as key players like Curry and Draymond Green remain part of the organization. This signals that Kerr sees himself deeply connected to this core group and suggests that the fate of young players like Kuminga might be secondary to keeping that nucleus intact. It's an indication that the current Warriors leadership is doubling down on the established stars and perhaps tightening the leash on younger players who don't fit the mold just yet. The tension between Kerr and Kuminga wasn't the only drama stirring the pot. DeMarcus Cousins, who once played for the Warriors, publicly criticized Kerr for his approach to handling young talent. Cousins argued that Kerr doesn't develop young players well, and that his relationship with Kuminga is emblematic of a larger problem. While some point out that Kerr has been credited with developing stars like Draymond Green and managing a golden era with Curry and Klay Thompson, Cousins' comments add fuel to the fire, suggesting that the coach's ability to nurture new talent is questionable. This outside perspective adds a new layer to the ongoing saga, raising questions about whether the Warriors are struggling to build beyond their veteran core because of leadership issues. On top of all this, Moses Moody's recent surgery has added another twist to the narrative. Moody, who struggled during the playoffs with poor shooting percentages, was revealed to have played through a torn UCL in his right thumb. This injury explains a lot about his inconsistent performance and the drop in his minutes during critical games. It also shines a light on how much unseen factors like injuries can affect a player's output, and consequently, the coaching staff's trust in their reliability. Knowing Moody was battling an injury that directly impacted his shooting hand forces, a reassessment of his playoff struggles, and perhaps softened some of the criticism he faced. Putting all of these pieces together paints a complicated picture for the Warriors as they head into a pivotal offseason. The public airing of grievances between Steve Kerr and Jonathan Kuminga signals a fracture that likely won't be easily healed. It suggests that a major change is on the horizon. Whether that's a trade involving Kuminga, a shift in how the team approaches youth development, or even questions about Kerr's long-term fit as coach if the team fails to meet expectations. It's clear that the Warriors are at a crossroads, with the core stars still anchoring the franchise, but surrounded by uncertainty regarding the next generation of players. The way Kerr openly criticized Kuminga's playing style and effectiveness feels like a message not just to the player but to the entire organization and fan base. It sends a signal that the coaching staff prioritizes winning now over player development or long-term potential, at least when those two don't align. This is a delicate balance for any team, especially one with championship aspirations and a young, talented roster that hasn't yet fully gelled. It's a reminder that talent alone isn't enough. Fit, mentality, and execution within the system matter just as much, if not more. As for Kuminga being thrust into this spotlight and having his value questioned so publicly could impact his future with the team. Teams around the league will be watching, trying to gauge whether the Warriors are truly committed to him or if they're looking to move on and recoup assets. There's speculation that the Warriors might try to use a sign and trade to get more value. But that strategy comes with risks, especially if the public narrative continues to undermine the player's reputation. It's a tricky situation that requires careful navigation from Golden State's front office. Meanwhile, the dynamic between Kerr, Curry, and Draymond remains a cornerstone. Kerr's comments about staying as long as those two are present highlight how much the Warriors' identity is still tied to that core. The younger players have to fit it into that framework or risk being pushed out, which is a tough message for a young talent hungry to prove himself. This kind of organizational approach is common in veteran-led teams aiming for immediate success, but it can also lead to friction and difficult roster decisions. The entire situation also raises broader questions about how the Warriors will balance the present and the future. With Curry and Draymond aging, the window for championships is narrowing, which might explain the impatience with Kuminga's development and style. Yet without a clear succession plan, Golden State risks losing promising talent without fully tapping into their potential. It's a strategic puzzle that will define the next chapter of this franchise. The public comments, the stats cited by Kerr, the critiques from former players like Cousins, and the injury revelations all contribute to a storyline that is still unfolding. There's much more beneath the surface in this complex relationship between a coach trying to win now and a young player trying to carve out his place. Fans and analysts alike will be watching closely as the Warriors navigate this delicate phase, balancing expectations, talent, and leadership. It's a moment that could shape the direction of the team for years to come, and the stakes couldn't be higher. As the tension between Steve Kerr and Jonathan Kuminga continues to simmer, the Warriors offseason is shaping up to be one of the most critical and complicated in recent memory. The public nature of Kerr's criticisms puts the front office in a difficult position, forced to balance the undeniable potential of a young player like Kuminga with the coach's very clear reservations about his fit within the current roster and system. This kind of friction isn't unusual in professional sports, but when it plays out so openly, it adds a layer of complexity to the team's decision-making process that fans and analysts are watching closely. Kerr's pointed remarks about Kuminga's ball-dominant style and high usage rate reveal a deeper philosophical divide about how the Warriors want to operate moving forward. With established stars like Curry and Butler commanding the offense, the ideal supporting cast is one that complements their play styles, minimizing overlaps and maximizing efficiency. Kuminga's approach, which involves taking more shots and controlling possessions, clashes with that model, making it tough for Kerr to justify heavy minutes for him, especially in high-stakes games. This conflict underscores a larger challenge the Warriors face in trying to integrate emerging talent without disrupting the chemistry of their core. At the same time, the statistical critique, particularly focusing on Kuminga's negative plus-minus ratings during crucial playoff moments, feeds into the narrative that despite flashes of brilliance, he has yet to prove he can positively influence the team's success in the long run. These numbers are often harsh and don't always tell the full story, but in an organization where winning is the ultimate goal, they carry significant weight. They signal that there are still gaps in Kuminga's game, whether it's decision-making, defense, or consistency, that need addressing before he can be counted on as a reliable contributor. The Warriors' handling of Kuminga raises questions about their broader strategy with young players. DeMarcus Cousins' public comments criticizing Kerr's ability to nurture young talent add fuel to this debate. Cousins suggests that the coaching staff struggles to develop players who don't fit the mold immediately. which could explain why many promising talents have struggled to find their footing in Golden State. This critique contrasts with the image of Kerr as the mastermind behind the Warriors' championship runs, highlighting a potential weakness in the organization's approach to sustaining success over the long term. Meanwhile, Moody's injury and subsequent surgery provide an important reminder that player performance is often influenced by factors beyond what meets the eye. Moody's torn UCL in his shooting hand explains a lot about his struggles during the playoffs and the limited role he was given. Injuries like this can significantly impact a player's confidence and rhythm, which in turn affects their ability to contribute meaningfully to the team. Recognizing these hidden challenges is crucial when evaluating young players' potential and deciding how to invest in their development. The Warriors now face a crossroads. With Kerr's contract running through next season and his clear commitment to staying as long as Curry and Draymond are around, the window for making major changes is narrow but urgent. The team needs to figure out whether Kuminga is part of their future or if they should explore trade options to maximize his value before it potentially declines further. The idea of a sign and trade has been floated, aiming to bring in more assets while giving Kuminga a fresh start elsewhere. But the public airing of grievances complicates that process. Teams interested in acquiring him will be weighing not just his talent, but also the narrative around his fit and attitude. This situation also puts pressure on the Warriors front office to make tough roster decisions. Balancing veteran leadership with the integration of young talent is never easy, especially when the established stars demand the ball and set the tone. The challenge lies in building a cohesive unit that can compete for championships now while developing the next generation of contributors who will carry the team forward when the veterans inevitably decline. How Golden State navigates this balancing act will define their trajectory in the coming years. Kerr's comments about sticking around only while Curry and Draymond remain hint at a potential future where leadership changes might coincide with a shift in team identity. If the Warriors are unable to reconcile the differences with Kuminga or fail to integrate their young players effectively, it could signal a rebuilding phase sooner than fans expect. This underscores the urgency for the team to find solutions quickly, either through player development, strategic trades, or coaching adjustments. The evolving dynamic between Kerr, the core veterans, and the young talent speaks to a broader tension within the Warriors organization. It's a classic struggle between maintaining a winning culture built around established stars and fostering growth and opportunities for emerging players. Finding the right balance is critical, but so far, the public fallout suggests that the Warriors are still grappling with this challenge. As the offseason progresses, the Warriors' decisions regarding Kuminga and other young players will reveal a lot about their priorities. Will they commit to nurturing these talents despite the immediate risks? Or will they double down on a win-now approach centered around their veteran stars? The answer to that question will shape not only their roster, but also the team's identity moving forward. Ultimately, this situation serves as a reminder that building a championship team involves much more than talent alone. Chemistry, fit, leadership, and timing all play pivotal roles. The Warriors are at a critical juncture, and how they address the complexity surrounding Kuminga, player development, and coaching philosophy will have lasting implications. Fans can expect an intense offseason filled with speculation, moves, and perhaps some surprising decisions as Golden State tries to chart the best path towards sustained success. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. Sources close to the Golden State Warriors have sparked speculation that Stephen Curry may have sustained an injury during a recent team practice. While no official statement has been released by the franchise, whispers from inside the Warriors camp suggest that the two-time MVP experienced some discomfort following an intense training session earlier this week. Details surrounding the nature and severity of the injury remain unclear, but the rumor mill is already in full swing. Some insiders hint that Curry may have tweaked an ankle, an area that has notoriously given him trouble in the past, while others suggest it could be a minor muscle strain. Eyewitnesses reportedly saw Curry leaving the practice facility earlier than usual, fueling further concerns among fans and analysts alike. The Warriors have yet to address the situation publicly, maintaining their typical discretion regarding player health. However, given Curry's pivotal role in the team's offensive scheme and leadership both on and off the court, even the faintest suggestion of an injury is enough to send shockwaves through the NBA community. Social media platforms were abuzz late. Last night was speculation, as fans debated whether the injury could sideline the star guard or if it was merely a precautionary measure. If true, Curry's potential absence, even for a short period, could have significant implications for the Warriors' early season aspirations. With the Western Conference shaping up to be fiercely competitive, any missed games could alter playoff positioning and team momentum. It is also worth noting that Curry, known for his rigorous training regimen and commitment to conditioning, rarely lets minor setbacks impede his play. Historically, the Warriors' medical staff have taken a cautious approach when dealing with their franchise cornerstone, often opting for rest and rehabilitation over rushing him back into action. For now, this remains purely speculative. The Warriors are scheduled to hold a media availability later this week, and it is anticipated that head coach Steve Kerr may address the swirling rumors. Until then, Dub Nation holds its breath, hoping that their superstar is simply taking a well-deserved rest rather than nursing an injury that could impact the team's trajectory this season. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.